Like I explained it, this extractive system is a Western invention that was imposed by force on Westerners first and then the rest of the world. But other civilizations had completely different approaches that actually work. Islam directly address the core problem we've been talking about, charging interest, what they call riba, is completely forbidden. You literally cannot make money from money itself. Every financial transaction has to be tied to actual productive activities, real goods or services. In practice, this means a bank might provide capital for your business and take a share of the actual profit. Not a guaranteed type of return, regardless of whether your business succeed or fail. The bank's success gets directly tied to productive outcomes, not these financial manipulation. And this isn't just theory. Malaysia Islamic banking sector grew at a rate of over 20% annually, even during the 2008 crisis, when Western banks were collapsing left and right. Why? Because when you cannot create money out of thin air through compound interest, you can't build these massive speculative bubbles that destroys entire economies. But it goes deeper than just banking. Under Islamic economics, there's something called zakat, a mandatory wealth redistribution mechanism where anyone above a certain threshold must give a percentage of their total accumulated wealth annually to the community. Not just income, but total accumulated wealth. Imagine if Jeff Bezos has to give 2% of his entire net worth every year. You cannot accumulate infinite wealth under this system because the accumulation itself triggers redistribution mechanism. In traditional African societies, before European colonizer came smashing up everything and burning entire villages, people operated on what we call Ubuntu, translated as I am because we are. Land wasn't owned by individuals. It was managed collectively by the community for everyone's benefit. No individual could accumulate vast resources at others' expenses because the entire system was designed around sustainable resource sharing and built-in protection against inequality getting out of control. This system worked. You destroyed them, and I mean by you, the West. The financial extraction we've been talking about isn't some isolated economic problem. It's the engine that drives Western civilization destructive pattern. When your entire system is based on extraction maximum value from everything, you don't just extract from people's labor, you extract from the planet, from other countries, from social bonds, from everything that can possibly be converted into profit. Every major U.S. Military intervention in the last 50 years has been about protecting or expanding these financial extraction system. The Pentagon budget is basically a subsidy for maintaining global financial dominance. You spend more on military than the next 10 countries combined. You know, they say they're defending America, but you're not America and America is not you. What they're actually defending is the system that lets financial institutions extract wealth from the entire planet. This so-called Western civilization has burned through more fossil fuels and generated more pollution in the last 200 years than all previous civilizations combined. Every forest, every river, every mineral deposit must be converted into profit for shareholders. You have to be a psychopath to think like that. You cannot demand infinite growth on a finite planet. This is why they're talking about colonizing planet Mars, because they cannot satisfy their greed on just one planet. You literally want to own the entire galaxy. Look at the mental health crisis, the addiction crisis, the fact that everyone isolated and miserable throughout the West. This isn't some coincidence. This is what you get when you build society around sucking money out of people instead of actually caring about their well-being. always promoting this nonsense about individualism, while the misery inflicted on this planet comes from the same source, a European way of thinking that treats exploitation like it's just a normal business and worship money like it's some kind of god. Look, whether I have sympathy for your situation or not doesn't matter at this point. The system is gonna collapse, and it's collapsing in front of you. You might not be able to see it, but it's happening. You can't extract infinitely from a finite planet like we said. You can't concentrate wealth indefinitely without social explosion. The mathematics doesn't care about anyone's feeling. So what's the solution? What will a replacement actually look like? Listen, I am not telling you anything I will suggest will sound like a utopian fantasy. And honestly, based on everything we've discussed, Westerners will choose extraction until the very end. You will blame immigrants, blame China, blame anyone except the parasitic system you've defended for centuries. And that's fine. The rest of us don't need Western permission to build alternative. We've already doing it. Cooperative movements are spreading globally. Countries are dropping the dollars, creating alternative payment system, building South-to-South economic relationship that bypass your extraction mechanism entirely. The knowledge exists for building something better. You just have to look beyond the sources that profit from your ignorance. But you won't, because that would require admitting that your civilization is the actual problem.